Call mom.
Calling mom.
Isn't technology amazing? When I make a call, I'm so glad I don't have to enter the phone number. Anytime I make a request, it searches the contact list, finds the corresponding number, and enters it for me. The domain name system, DNS, works similarly for the internet. In this episode of Cisco Tech Talk, I'll explain how DNS works. Next. To explain DNS, I'll start with an example. Let's say you want to update the firmware on your Catalyst 1300 switch. So you head over to your computer, open a web browser, and enter software.cisco.com. The name is easy to remember, but computers don't communicate with names. They use IP addresses. An IP address is a unique number that computers use to find each other and communicate online. So to keep things simple for you, you just type in the name. From there, the computer sends a request for the IP address. It starts with a DNS server called a recursive resolver, which your internet company typically provides you. If it doesn't already know the IP address, the resolver reaches out to another server. If that server doesn't know the IP address, it puts in a request to a server that knows more IP addresses. This process is repeated as needed until the IP address is retrieved and sent back to the resolver. The resolver passes the IP address to the computer. Your computer uses this IP address to talk to the web server where the website is stored. Now you can communicate with the website. In this example, you would access and download the firmware you would need for your switch. One more thing to note is that after a DNS query has been resolved, the recursive resolver caches the results. This temporarily saves the IP address so it can be retrieved from memory, rather than going through the entire process again. If you've noticed that sites you visit often get loaded quicker than others, that may be why. That's DNS in a nutshell. Can you believe that even with billions of public IP addresses out there, this entire process usually happens in milliseconds? That's impressive. Wait, are DNS queries not resolved quickly for you? If your web pages load slowly, there are options. You can switch to a public DNS server instead of the one from your internet service provider. This may improve speed or reliability. Some may even provide additional features like parental controls or cybersecurity protections. To see DNS in action, I'll use a packet capture tool called Wireshark. Wireshark is a free software tool that captures packets of data sent and received over a network and lets you examine them in detail. After starting Wireshark, I'll initiate a capture on the Ethernet interface, filter the traffic to show only DNS-related data, and visit a variety of popular websites. You can see the DNS queries and responses in real time. Remember, background applications on your computer may also generate DNS requests that you're not directly initiating. For instance, if you're curious about the IP address that corresponds to cisco.com, filter the DNS traffic by the domain name and observe both IPv4 and IPv6 responses, showing the specific IP addresses associated with that domain. There you have it, the basics of DNS and how it works to give you a good online experience. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.